Hello, hello. Welcome to 11th Hour Shaman's Cup of Tea podcast slash video blog. We'll see week to week. We will explore a shaman's perspective and practices in emotional sovereignty, self-reliance, nutritional herbalism and natural health, dream work, intuitive body work, and soul purpose, and a kaleidoscope of topics when choosing an unconventional path in these modern days. Also, you and I can create a life we love to love. I'm your hostess, Teresa Gutierrez, grateful daughter of healers before me, a spiritual entrepreneur, an author, NDEer, vegan strong mother of 4, and goofy Grammy of 2, and the founder of 11thhourshaman.com, the portal for bringing your dreams into physical reality. How? By living in a daily rhythm that's in alignment with your soul's purpose. Together, we'll delve into the secrets of your personal power to heal anything and create a delightful whole life full of beauty, laughter, intimacy, and purpose. This is the place where we connect with our souls again, laugh with our souls again, nourish our bodies, and make conscious contact with that inexplicable peace deep within. If you value personal transformational growth and soul purpose, if you value your body, temple, and health as the conduit to spirit that it is, if you value your sovereignty and self-reliance, you've landed in the right place because we discuss real strategies and earth-based shamanic practices proven safe and effective for decades or, millennia in all reality. So nestle in with your favorite cup of tea or plant-based protein shake and say an internal thank you for the angels right next to you and me. This is your time to feel empowered. Now, let's get after it. Let's be real. The title of this episode. Let's be real. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. The real me asks a lot of questions and makes a lot of unconventional decisions, and I've made a whole heck of a lot of mistakes. And that's okay, because being human is okay. But I imagine you've been asking a lot of questions too, right? Especially since 2020. I'm wondering, are the answers you're finding kind of blowing your mind or igniting a fire within you? I've noticed a lot of people have stopped trusting the structure and processes of American quote unquote healthcare, big pharma, and big government, all trying to make decisions for them. Is that you too? I've also seen that although a lot of people are frustrated and disappointed and even angry and fed up with the way our healthcare system is running, and they're pulling away from that tired hamster wheel of drugs instead of actually resolving the root cause of their problem, most people don't really know how to solve their health issues any other way. And so they're trying to piecemeal together natural healing with IG info images, but they're left feeling a lack of confidence and wondering if they're missing something, asking themselves, are they doing enough? But they are doing their best and definitely searching for better, safer, holistic solutions. Does this describe you in any way in your experience at all? I remember way back in 1997 when I first learned how to treat my baby's ear infection with herbs instead of the antibiotic her doctor prescribed. I can't help but wonder if the reason I was so receptive to the idea of using herbs was because the spirit of my great grandmother, a curandera from Mexico, was whispering in my ear to trust my friend and trust the medicine of the plants. I hope someday after I cross over and meet my great grandmother, Rafaela, that she'll show me what really happened to open me up to herbalism. Well, back to my baby. She got better on those herbs, and I felt so grateful and relieved, of course. Honestly, that was one less thing that this new mom had to worry about in the future. I had learned a new skill and applied it successfully. That's right. I'm dancing in my chair. What else could I learn to take care of on my own that I'm always so worried about? I wondered. A whole new world of natural healing was opening up to me, and I was so excited to learn everything for the sake of my daughter. There's a long backstory there, but that's for another time. Basically, natural health and natural healing have forever since 1997 become some of my core values. These are deal breakers. Self-reliance in holistic health and healing became my new standard of living, meaning if I can do it myself, then I see it as my adult responsibility and part of my mothering role to learn all I can to take care of our bodies naturally and then do it. Hiring outside help is always an option for things I don't know how to do yet or don't want to know how to do yet. And it's super important to note here, part of this self-reliance in health standard of living is my baseline assumption that there is a natural holistic solution to nearly every health issue we face. And just because I may not know the answer yet, or the doctor may not know the answer yet, does not mean it doesn't exist. To quote a dear teacher of mine, in the end, it's my internal compass that will win over. You see, I believe that every single one of us has a song on our heart that was placed there. And the things we are passionate about are not random. They are our calling. Your calling is what's placed on your heart. That's Fabian Fredrickson. And the situation I was in, much to my heart's shock, my excitement about holistic healing and passion for a better world for my daughter was the beginning of me triggering a lot of people's anger, judgment, ridicule, and rejection. Seriously, it was such a shock to my nervous system to have my open-hearted enthusiasm for the amazing world of herbalism, natural healing, and self-reliance to be responded to with such aggression and derision, not to mention my interest in home birth and homeschool. What? Now I've really added fuel to their fire, right? Oh my goodness. Despite all that, my internal compass did win over, and I ended up raising all four of my children on herbs. No pharmaceuticals were ever needed. They're all grown up adults now. I've been helping my daughter do the same for her kids since 2016. It's not that we never got sick or injured or had some sort of infection. We're a normal family with normal human stuff going on, but I used herbs, plant foods, and energy work instead of drugs. Why is that met with so much aggression and pushback? Have you experienced this too? Well, within my home and within my spiritual community at the time, I was met with this red-faced, hot anger and crazy questioning, as if I was some sort of dangerous idiot that's incapable of thinking or learning something new. So I stifled my authentic self-expression. I stopped talking about the things that light me up with most people, but I still did the things that I felt guided to do. And I did them successfully. I did them naturally. And I'm really grateful for that part of me that went forward anyway. I know who I am and what I believe in. I'm a determined woman of conviction, after all. So, although their negative word lashings never stopped me from learning and doing my best for my family, I mostly kept it all to myself. Thankfully, though, through life experiences, I developed a few close friendships where I felt safe talking about all my unconventional ways, and so did they. It was such a haven to have supportive friendships in my life. They were the kind of community I needed, and nearly 30 years later, they still are. Now that I'm 50 years old and a grandmother with a ton of experience and a spiritual entrepreneur with heaps of wisdom and skills, I want to come out from under my shroud of silence and be a safe haven and loving wisdom source for your unconventional desires to live more naturally and self-reliantly for the sake of your family and creating a better world and future for our children, our grandchildren, and beyond. I remember teaching herbalism in an after-school program I created for middle school and high school children. And when they started sharing their stories with me about how they took what they learned from our time together to help their family member with this or with that herbal remedy, and of course it worked. And they had these huge smiles on their faces. They were so bright and radiant, and I cried with joy and gratitude. I could see they felt empowered. I could see they were so excited that the plants worked. I felt a hope for our planet's future, and I know it sounds lofty, but yes, for humanity's future. It dawned on me like a divine whisper from my soul, from deep inside my heart, that I was helping to raise up a new generation of people, these beautiful young people that would know the real history of herbalism and who have self-empowering confidence in the potent healing power of plants. These kids and their experiences touched my heart so deeply. My teacher, Fabienne, speaks of this divine whisper in this way. As you listen to your heart, write it down. Understand that it's not just something random. I believe that your heart is a connection to the divine. And when you are being led by your heart, you are being led by the all that is God, Goddess, divine spirit, whatever you want to call it. That advice, those whispers are sacred. And then once you're clear on that, boldly go after it, courageously. Thank you, Fabienne, for your perfect words. My whole life, I've been following those whispers of divine guidance, despite the opposition I've faced. And although those whispers are sacred to me, that doesn't mean my actions are always soft or gentle or serious or reverent. I admit, I'm a bit eccentric and fiery sometimes too. In fact, full transparency here, good, bad, or indifferent, I'm kind of a zombie apocalypse kind of gal. Like, meaning, I ask myself questions like, if the world went crazy and people didn't have access to this drug or the other drug, or what can we do to take care of ourselves naturally so we never have to rely on man-made drugs or government approval? So we never have to worry about the cost of a drug or the availability of a drug or the lost effectiveness of this or that antibiotic due to mutations and superbugs, etc. I'm also a do no harm kind of gal. So there's always the question of what some might term as the cost benefit analysis. I can use an antibiotic for a sinus infection and hope it works and that I don't have to take a stronger and stronger and stronger one until they run out of options for me, and hope that the antibiotic doesn't give me an allergic reaction or some other side effect it comes with. Or I can clean up my diet, clear my emotional conflicts. That's right. Emotional conflicts can create illnesses because it creates stress hormones. Anyway, that's a whole nother podcast. I can improve my lifestyle. I can take herbs that are known to be antimicrobial and antifungal. The antibiotic option stresses the body and weakens the immune system, while the holistic option builds and nourishes the body and supports the immune system. This is not a hard choice for me. In fact, this is my standard for living, and it's been my standard for living for 27 years. Yet, as I mentioned earlier, my choices have been attacked for decades. Not just for choosing nutritional herbalism and natural healing, but for all my unconventional choices, like not using vaccines after an adverse event with my first baby, choosing to have unmedicated births after the first one nearly killed us, choosing to have a home birth, the most beautiful, peaceful birth ever, choosing to homeschool, online school, and charter school, depending on the kid and the year, choosing to let my dreams and my intuition guide me, choosing to practice spiritual energy work and body work healing, choosing veganism or to be a whole food plant-based nutrition and fitness woman, choosing freedom, sovereignty, and body autonomy and self-reliance, especially in 2020. That's just crazy. As I've contemplated the outright rejection, ridicule, and anger thrown at me to my face in one-on-one conversations and in large groups of women, it made me look even further back. Turns out, my entire life, I've been told to, let's say this nicely, to be quiet, don't tell, don't talk about that, or straight up that I'm stupid, I'm naive, I'm idealistic, and I'm effing crazy. But why? Because I'm inquisitive, because I question and dig for answers and truth, and I end up making unconventional choices. That's it. So why the backlash of 1,000 whips? I've noticed that we the people, or we the unconventional people, are sometimes treated like we can't read or learn new things. I've noticed that we the mothers and fathers of our children aren't doctors. So how dare we have an opinion on health and healing? Our successful experiences in naturally caring for our families are devalued and snubbed and looked down at as less than, and or even dangerous, because these are just anecdotal experiences, not double, triple blind scientific research studies paid for by who? Big pharma or big animal product producers. As they yelled at me with glaring eyes, scrunched brows, and red faces, I noticed the doors to most of their minds remained welded shut to the very real, safe, and effective healing possibilities the plant kingdom provides. Welded shut to the very idea of home birth. Welded shut to the actual mystical and miraculous experiences of healing that take place for normal people like you and me. Welded shut to the awesome power of epigenetics, meditation, prayer, family connectivity, and dream time. These are so healing in our lives. And yet, what I see, humans are real busy right now sorting themselves. We are self-sorting. Some of us will choose fear, drugs, and implanted technology and stuff like that. Others of us will choose love, like literally love and freedom to keep our divinely designed human DNA. We'll choose to apply epigenetics to our lives and live more and more harmoniously with spirit, nature, and our soul's purpose. Gregg Braden said it this way: the better you know yourself, the less you fear your own power. When you reach deep within your being, you have everything you need, not just to survive, but to thrive, to transcend, to become the best version of yourself and build the best world possible in our time of extremes. So, although I acknowledge my whole life seems to trigger a lot of people, it's really not my intention to be divisive. Rather, my intention is to empower you. That's it. I want to empower you. I think that's a great intention. So I want to empower you with applied indigenous wisdom and skill aimed at naturally, safely, and effectively healing your body, your mind, your heart, and your soul. I believe with all my heart that empowering you and teaching you how to be in harmony with spirit and nature and to be self-reliant and supporting the expansion of your wisdom, your skills, and your purpose will absolutely support our collective human consciousness to rise up into the frequencies of love, gratitude, peace, and freedom. Not just gratitude, but a deep and profound appreciation for our source, the source of all life, and our symbiotic relationship with nature. I believe naturally applied epigenetics is the health of the future. The antiquated ways of the mid-20th century science or the 300-year-old Newtonian sciences are being shed off now. They're being shed off like dead skin so we can grow into our true sacred human potential through quantum physics and epigenetics, which is inherently in tune with our natural universe. As we, the people, sort ourselves, you may find you feel lost, confused, or overwhelmed with the enormity that is self-reliance in regards to natural health and shamanic earth-based healing practices. If you're feeling called to be a shamanic apprentice, as we prepare for our planet's ascension and consciousness, or simply need to focus on healing yourself first, I'm here for you. We will find our way through the coming changes fully empowered and create what I see in my mind as cities of light. I dream of these communities of light that, I mean, each individual cell emits light. Our DNA emits light. And I just see these beautiful communities of light that honors each sovereign soul and our personal relationship with source and nature, and that empower all of us to feel in tune with our bodies, to be emotionally mature, to create heart-brain coherence on purpose, and to follow our divine inner compass. This is the kind of future I want for my beautiful children, my amazing grandchildren, and yours, for you and your entire family and their families, and on and on and on. I see a world where we all know spirit is real. We can heal anything. And we each have a soul's calling placed in our hearts. Until next week, hugs and blessings to you and yours. Thank you for tuning in to 11th Hour Shaman's Cup of Tea. It has been such a delight sharing this time with you. Remember, there is no reason for you to fear what's coming or settle for less than what your free-spirited, unconventional heart desires. As A Course in Miracles so perfectly states, nothing real can be threatened, nothing unreal exists. My cousin Maria Owl, I said that kind of fast. Anyway, she's my cousin. She reminds us that when we know our eternal nature, no one can control us. You deserve to embrace your humanness and your omnipotent soul in this outrageous, beautiful, somewhat dramatic dance we call life. And you deserve to know the truth about healing and your divine human potential. You can heal anything when you partner with spirit, plants, and your very own soul's purpose. If you've enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe and download a few episodes that inspire you, make you laugh, or get you journaling and medicine making. Sometimes I like to ask a lot of questions, and I think people should write them down. You have good answers inside of you. Please share this episode with the people in your circle of influence that are also seeking spirit-led self-reliance practices, a reconnection to their own soul, and a desire to heal anything blocking them off from their most delightful life. I'm here for you and yours. I'm so honored that you're tuning in. Until next time, let's be our realist selves and move towards our dreams, one lit up step at a time. Big squishy hugs till then.